Welcome to another edition of Broomstick Oly. We're going to come at you today. We're going to work on some pressing, some overhead work, some jerk work. But first, we got to warm up. So let's get ourselves in a nice wide snatch grip to start off our day, just to kind of open up some positions first. So let's stand tall, weight through the midfoot. Let's pull into that high pull position in that wide grip. Come back down. We'll pull into that nice wide high and outside. Back down. One more time. Pull up and back down. From here, let's pull up, turn it over into that nice muscle snatch, come back down, and again, pull to the sternum, turn over, keeping that bar close, come back down, one more time, pull, turn over, and then we'll come back down behind the neck, get set through those feet, wide grip shoulder press. Let's press that bar up, and come back down. Push up, come back down. Push up, and come back to the front. So from here, let's bring those hands in about a thumb and a thumb distance away from our thigh. So we have our space, our hands can be just outside the shoulder, and from here we're going to pull that bar into that nice high and outside. It's going to feel a little different. We come back down. Pull in that high and outside, come back down. Pull, and back down. Now this time we're going to pull, roll the elbows through as best we can into that front rack, and then come back in and down. Pull, roll through, come back, and down. Good, one more time. Pull, roll through, keep it there, set. Now we're going to shoulder press. Press the bar up overhead, keeping the ribs in. We're going to press the shoulders back, come back overhead, keeping those armpits forward, press, and back, overhead. One more time. Press, and back overhead. Good. Come back down to that front rack. We'll come down. And now from here, we're going to work on some Cuban rotations. So we're going to pull the bar up to that high and outside position. So the elbow is stacked kind of just over the wrist. My shoulders are down, so I have a neck. Now we're going to kind of rip into the bar. We're going to take that bar up overhead, keeping that elbow at that height, and then come back in. Nice position. And then pull it back up. The elbows high, and come back down. Good. One more time. Pull up, and come back down. Good. Take the bar all the way down. Nice. Palms face forward. We're going to hold that bar in a curl grip. We're going to curl the bar up and under so the elbows are in front of the bar. Knuckles pointing back towards my face. Ribs are in, glutes tight. Press overhead. Reverse grip press. Press back, keeping those ribs in. Come back overhead, and come back down. Good. Press up. Nice lockout overhead as best you can. Press back, overhead, and come back down. Good. One more time. Press up, press back, and come back down. Good. Come back down with those arms. We're going to take that bar behind. Go wider. Now that those arms are a little bit more warmed up. Palms are forward, arms are straight. Now wide grip. Glutes tight, core tight. Let's pull that bar up and over as far as you can. And then we're going to come back down. Good, keeping those arms straight. We're not trying to come all the way over the top of the front. Just coming overhead if we can. Wherever we can keep those arms straight. Up overhead if you got it. If not, just take it to where you can. Back down. Do it again. Come up and back down. Good. From here again, we'll take that bar out. We'll come back to the front. We'll get that nice close grip, thumb into thumb, so we have our shoulders just outside of that, or sorry, our hands just outside our shoulders, and we have that nice solid grip. Now, we worked on quite a bit of overhead work now, so we should probably warm up the lower half. So let's start off with a nice tall dip position. So the bar's at the high hang, nice and tall through the feet. Let's take it down. 2, 1. Pause in that bottom of the dip position. Now feel those legs, feel that foot contact with the floor, nice and flat. Stand and just give yourself just a little shrug. Good. Come back down with the shoulders, nice and set. 2, 1. Nice dip. Feel those feet, wake up those ankles a bit, and push through those legs, little shrug. Just to heat up those shoulders a little bit more. Good, one more time, little dip, 2, 1. Good. Now push through those legs, get that little shrug, and relax. Good. Let's pull the bar up to the sternum, pull the elbows through, and the best front rack we can with those elbows or with that PVC or broomstick. So with a little bit of without any loading, it's pretty hard to get that bar in contact with the shoulder, but what we're looking for is just the elbows in front of the bar. Now squeeze the glutes, set the shoulders, 2-second dip, 2, 1, hold that position, and stand, keeping that good front rack, keep it isolated, 2, 1, good, and stand, take it back down, 2, 1, and stand. Good, we're gonna shoulder press, taking that bar overhead, actively pushing overhead, keeping those shoulders good and strong. Let's take it down, 2, 1, bottom of the dip, so we're in that receiving position of the jerk. Keep pushing into the bar, stand tall. Good, take it down again, 2, 1, holding that overhead position, nice and active, ribs in, and stand. One more time, push into the bar, 2, 1, good, and push into those legs, come back down, bring the hands down, and just relax for a second. Good, all right, so we've warmed up a few positions. We've kind of got that overhead position kind of set, fired up. We've got our dip going, we've got our flat foot position going. Now let's warm up our legs a little bit. We're gonna warm up our legs with an isometric hold, all right? We're gonna work on some behind the neck shoulder presses in our split jerk stance. So what we need to do is we need to set up our feet in our squat stance. We're gonna get our thumbs set up again. So we're gonna pull the bar, take it through, and pop it onto the shoulders. So we're in that nice jerk grip. Bars in the back rack, and a high bar back rack. All right, we're gonna step forward. We're gonna step back. So we're in that perfect split jerk stance. So we feel that nice equal 50-50 weight. My knee in the front is over top of my heel. My back knee is soft, and I'm nice and solid. So I'm gonna turn to the side so you guys can see that profile if you need to take a peek at that. So squat stance, I step, hips are square, both toes pointing straight ahead. I have a soft knee in the front, soft knee in the back, and I'm nice and solid. So from here, I'm just gonna hold this position solid through my legs, through my core, and I'm going to shoulder press, hold for 3, 2, 1, come back down, set that position, and press, hold for 3, 2, 1, come back down, set, and press, hold for 3, 2, 1, good, we're gonna bring the front foot back, back foot forward, and come back to our shoulders. Now for today, because we're using this to warm up, we're gonna do both sides, just for fun. So we're gonna step forward with the other foot, step back with the other foot. We're gonna set up that same positioning. It might feel really forward on this side, but that lead knee is over top of the heel, back knee is soft in that nice position, both toes pointing straight ahead. Glutes are engaged, core is set, press up, hold overhead, 3, 2, and come back down. Nice and set through the balance, press it up, hold for 3, 2, come back down. One more time, and press it up, hold for 3, 2, front foot comes in, back foot comes up, and come to the front this time. Good. All right, so that's got some good heat in there. If you'd like to do a couple more sets of that, please be my guest. Pause the video or scroll back, get that setup going, get a few good presses, holding in that good, perfect split jerk stance, because we want to work on that perfect stance for us, making sure we're grooving that position. Now let's get a little bit more dynamic with the overhead stuff. So let's get ourselves ready to go. So again, we're going to get our feet in that hip width stance, all right? So, or just outside hip width, depending on your comfort with your hips and your ankles. Thumb and a thumb grip away from the thigh, so our hands are outside our shoulders. We're going to pull the bar up to the sternum, roll it through into that front rack. From here, I'm going to pull my chin back, and I'm going to work on my shoulder press for a second, just to work on bar path and regroove that position. So I'm going to take a breath, nice and tight, press that bar straight up in that overhead position, come back down. Good. Get set, push it up, come back down. Good. One more time, take a breath, press it up, come back down. Now we're going to work on a tempo dip push press. So we got to make sure our chin is out of the way, 2-second dip, and we're gonna pause in the bottom. 2, 1, hold for 3, 2, 1, push press. Stand press. Good, come back down. 2-second dip, 2, 1, hold for 3, 2, 1, push press. Stand press. Good, one more time, come back down. Set, dip, 2, 1, hold for 3, 2, 1, push press. Good, come back down and bring the bar down. Good, shake it out a little bit. Super important to kind of focus on that position, especially with those pause push press, making sure that chin is out of the way. Because sometimes we're really focused on dipping, setting, and then when we're holding and counting that pause, we forget about our chin, then we go push press, and we take our face off. So we want to make sure that we keep that chin retracted, set, just like we would if we were doing a normal push press. So if you like to pause, scroll back a couple, redo that set a couple times. There's nothing wrong with that, working on those positions. Because those two positions on the dip, the drive, are really going to help our jerks. So what we're going to do is move forward into a couple more dynamic drills. We're going to move through a smoother push press, so no pause. We're still going to work with a 2-second tempo dip. So it'll be a 2, 1 push press. And then we're going to work on a pause overhead dip. And then we're going to jerk. So let's get ourselves back into our grip. Feet are just outside the hips or under the hips. Thumb and a thumb distance. We'll pull the bar, roll it through into our front rack position. Chin is retracted. 2-second dip, push press. 2, 1, hop. Good, come back down, get set. 2, 1, push. Good, come back down, one more time. 2, 1, push and hold. Now we're going to dip and hold. Keep pushing into that bar. Come back up. Good. Dip and hold. Come back up. One more time. Dip and hold. And come back up. Good. Let's bring the bar down. Bring the bar down and shake it out a little bit. Excellent. So again, building a little bit more dynamic, working on the receiving position of the dip, the receiving position of the jerk in that nice overhead dip. So again, if you want to do a couple more reps of that, pause the video, take that nice smooth dip and push press, and then work on that pause overhead dip. Now we're going to get nice and dynamic. We're going to go through some push press, no tempo. It's just going to be a nice smooth dip drive into some power jerks. And again, in the power jerk, if your feet happen to move a little bit, not a big deal, but we don't want them to necessarily go beyond our squat stance. We want to keep them relatively controlled within that range. But don't so much focus on your feet unless all of a sudden your feet end up way out here. That's a little too wide. So if that's the case, then we got to start focusing a little bit more on our footwork. Let's get ourselves set back up again with that PVC pipe. Feet are underneath the hips or just outside. Thumb and a thumb distance away from the thigh. We're going to pull the bar, roll through in that nice position here. Now we're in the set position. We're going to set that up with a push press. So squeeze and set. Push press. Come back down, get set, push press. Good, come back down, set, push press. Good, come back down. Now we're into power jerk. Big breath, jerk. Stand tall, fix your feet in a little bit if you need to. Come back down with the bar, set, jerk. Stand tall. Come back down, set, jerk. Stand tall, feet come in a little bit if they moved, come back down and relax. Good. Nice work. All right, now, what we have for coming up next, again, if you want to redo some of those reps, please do so. Take your time, redo them, get those positions good and solid. We're going to move away from our more traditional jerks. We're going to go back to that split jerk, jerk balance. So we're going to work on our footwork first, then we'll come back and bring it in nice and dynamic. Okay? So let's get ourselves set up like we did earlier on in our day. So thumb and a thumb. We're going to pull the bar up and then pop it onto our shoulders. We're going to be in our squat stance, so we're in a nice wider stance. Step forward, step back. So we're in that nice long stance. Toes are pointing straight ahead. And our knee is soft on both occasions to allow us to give. But that front knee is stacked over top of the heel. Now from here, we're going to take a third step back. And we're going to stay nice and tight. And we're going to dip, step, and press. Big breath. Go. We should hit that nice perfect stance. If we're not, fix your feet. Now bring that front foot back a bit. Bring the bar back down. Get set. Go. Nice and solid. Recover. Come back down. Set. Go. Full recover. And bring your foot down and relax. Good. So again, we're not going to do both sides on the jerk balance because I want you to just get really comfortable with that lead leg that you're going to use in your split jerks at the time. Earlier on, we did it to warm up the legs, work on some balance. It's not a bad idea to do some of those drills afterwards as well to balance out those sides if you'd like. But for now, stick with that comfortable side, the side that you're going to use when you use load. So now what we're going to do is we're going to move into some power jerks, into some behind the neck split jerks, and then we're going to split jerk from the front. All right, so we're going to have to get the face out of the way. So let's play around with this a little bit. So we're going to get our feet underneath of our hips, just outside. Thumb and a thumb. We're going to pull the bar to the sternum, find that really good front rack position. From here, we're going to do some power jerks. So we're going to get set through the glutes, through the ribs. Jerk. Stand. Fix your feet if you need to. Come back down. Get set. Jerk. Stand. Fix your feet if you need to. Come back down. One more time. Jerk. Stand. Fix your feet. Bar comes down behind the neck. Now we're tight through the shoulders. Now we're going to split jerk from behind the neck. Big breath. Jerk. So we get that stance. Now check your feet. If your stance is wonky, fix it. Full recover. Front foot. Back foot. Bar to the shoulders. Same side. Get set. Jerk. Good. Check your feet. Full recover. Back down. One more time. Jerk. Good. Check your feet. Full recover. Bar to the front and relax. Good. All right. Nice work. So if you'd like to practice that again, pause the video or scroll back. Do it again with me. Go through that sequence just to get a few more repetitions of that. Because we're going to jump right into the split jerk now from behind the neck, and then we're going to do a couple from the front. So I just want to remind you guys, it's the same movement. The only thing we have to remember to do is retract the chin, get that face out of the way so the bar can go straight up. Everything with the dip, the drive, finding your feet, exactly the same as what we just did and what we're going to lead into moving into this set. So I don't want you to think about, oh, right, it's from the front, it's changing everything. Nope, it's not. We just have to make sure we get our chin out of the way, okay? Now let's get ourselves set up for a couple reps. Feet under the hips, thumb, thumb. We're gonna pull the bar up, roll it through, hit that good front rack. Bar on the shoulders, good. Behind the neck, split jerk. Squeeze, set, jerk. Good. Fix your feet, come back up and recover. Behind the neck, nice and tall, set, jerk. Good. Recover. Now bar to the front rack. All right. Same dip, same drive. Chin retracted, take a breath. Jerk. Good. Fix your feet if you need to. Full recover. Bar comes back down. Get set. Jerk. Good. Fix your feet if you have to. Full recover. Come down. One more time. Big breath. Jerk. Recover. Come down and relax. Good job, you guys. Nice work. All right. So again, if you'd like to do a couple more rounds of that, pause the video or scroll back, do it with me, follow along, or do it on your own. A couple rounds, 3 to 5, nothing crazy. But again, you've been building up slowly and steadily from the beginning all the way up to that jerk from the front rack. So where we would technically jerk in a workout. So again, behind the neck jerk allows us to work on our footwork so we have a straight path up behind the head. Now all we have to do when we get used to that footwork is just retract the chin and execute that same movement pattern that we've been grooving for a while. So very, very good job, you guys. Remember, the split jerk takes some time. It takes a little bit of work and just some repetition, getting our body used to finding that foot stance as much and fast as we can. Because again, most of our lifts come from missed feet. So we want to make sure that we're hitting that stance every chance we can. Now, let's take a moment and work on our squat development. We're going to start by putting the PVC pipe down. We're going to get into our regular squat stance. Now we're going to take some time just to do a squat, just to feel it out. So let's take it down. 3, 2, 1, hold, and then push up through those legs. All right. See how that felt. Now we're going to grab our PVC pipe. Yeah, we're going to have some fun with this. So setting yourself up with a nice wide grip. We're going to get our bar in that overhead position, so that nice overhead squat position. Actively pushing into the bar. We're pretty wide right now, pretty standard overhead squat. Feet are in our squat stance. Let's push into that bar. Let's take those hips down to the heels. Keep pressing up into that bar. Press, 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 press. And stand. Good. Let's walk the hands in about a hand's distance. Pressing into the bar. Take it down, hip to heel. Keep pressing into that bar. And stand. Good. Hands come in about another hand's distance. Press into that bar. Squat, hip to heel. Take it down as deep as you can maintain position. Keep pressing into the bar. And stand. Good. Now let's turn those hands around. Palms are facing back. Nice overhead position. Squat. Keep pressing into that bar. Keep pressing. And stand. Good. Let's take it out a little bit. Good. Nice wide grip. And squat. Keep pressing into that bar. And stand. Good. A little wider. Pressing into that bar. And squat. Take it all the way down. And stand. Good. We'll bring the bar down. Take a moment. Take that bar to the floor. And now, let's get ourselves into that squat stance. Our regular stance. Tall, tight. 3, 2, 1. And stand. Whew. Hopefully that made that squat and that upper body feel a little more free to be a little bit more vertical in that squat. Again, if you'd like to do a couple more rounds of that, no more than 5, but if you want to do a couple rounds of that, 6 squats each round. Take it down, scroll back, or pause the video, take it down. It's going to be really nice to open up those shoulders with those 2 different grips. Not that we would ever squat a barbell with our hands reversed, but it does feel nice with a PVC or broomstick to put those arms in a slightly different position and lock that shoulder into a slightly more externally rotated position, just to stretch out our upper body a little bit. So it's a nice tool to use to open up our upper back. Thank you for joining me tonight. It was a good session of overhead work, push, press, jerk work, good times, good footwork work. Play with this, have fun with it. Another good week of skills, you guys. Thanks so much for joining me. As always, work for quality, have tons of fun, and we'll see you very, very soon. Bye, you guys.